thank everybody for coming today for our 2018 BATAVIA DRE graduation. Our first speaker today is going to be Matt Landers, who is our Genesee County Assistant Manager, also our Stop DWI Coordinator. Matt?
This break. Good morning. I promised the Undersheriff that I'd be brief, and it's a promise I plan on keeping. I first want to applaud the work that these fine individuals have done to become drug recognition experts. As the Genesee County Assistant County Manager, I wear multiple hats, one of which is the title of Genesee County Stop DWI Coordinator. This hat means a lot to me. I take it very personally. I feel like it's one that can help make a difference in our community. And it allows me to interact with and assist local law enforcement professionals such as yourselves in combating the continual problem of driving while impaired. This training you've gone through will have a direct impact in your communities at a time these skills are most needed. With New York State right in the middle of the nationwide opioid crisis, with medical marijuana here and recreational marijuana being debated in our legislature, you all are going to play a huge role in making the streets safer for our families. Lastly, I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for stepping up and taking on such a crucial responsibility. As a father of two here in Genesee County, I'm grateful to have DREs in our backyard to help keep our streets and my family safe. I wish we had the resources to clone all of you many times over, because I'm aware the need is great for more of you. I wish you all the very best as you go back to your communities to make a difference, and I pray for your safety.
I just found the coolest place in the whole auditorium right there. I'll be over there a lot. Our next speaker is not on our program, Melissa Sinfrini. She's our first Assistant District Attorney here in Genesee County and has been a huge supporter of the DRE program ever since she came on board. Melissa?
Good morning. First, I'd like to say congratulations to all the troopers, police officers, and deputies who are DREs today. That's a great accomplishment. I also want to say that as a prosecutor, it does my heart well to see so many of you sitting on the stage today. And I want to talk a little bit about my perspective as a prosecutor and the role that DREs play in having successful prosecutions of both driving while intoxicated and driving while ability impaired by drug drivers. First of all, I don't know how many of you remember the movie Jerry Maguire, but there's that famous line where Renee Zellweger says to Tom Cruise's character, "You had me at the hello." Well, when I sit in my office and I'm reviewing my DWI and my DWAI by drugs cases, and I see that there's a DRE, "You had me at DRE," I'm ready to go to trial. And the reason being is that these cases, I know, are going to be fully investigated and fully prepared for trial before the arrest. These men and women have underwent significant and difficult training to be able to identify whether someone is intoxicated by drugs, intoxicated by alcohol, or impaired by drugs, or impaired by more than one type of drug. When they get up on the stand and they testify, they are so well prepared. They're well prepared because they prepared their file correctly, they performed their standardized field sobriety test perfectly, and when they get up on that stand, they just present so well. I can tell you that I am proud as a prosecutor when I have a DRE and they go through their training and experience. It's almost like, do I need to have them say any more? Can we just get our conviction and go home? Because the jury is so impressed with these men and women that do this job. And you as family members that are here today, I just want you to know what a significant role they play and how proud you should be of them, and I'm sure that you are. So they make prosecuting cases easier. They make prosecuting cases better. And many times defense attorneys see the DRE packet in there and they know it's time to pack it up and go home and just get the best plea that they can get because this is going to be a tough case at trial. The other thing that is very significant about the DRE program, and the second reason why I support it so ferociously, excuse me, I'm a little tongue-tied today, is because not only from the prosecution perspective and what they bring to the courtroom and what they bring to cases, but also because they are our last line of defense. You know, it's our road patrols that are the first line of defense. They are the ones that pull the driver over. But sometimes the road patrols aren't exactly sure what they're dealing with. They're not sure if the person is really impaired by drugs or if they're just having a weird affect or they're just a different type of personality. So when the DRE is called in, they are the absolute last line to get that impaired driver off the road. And so anytime I have a law enforcement officer call me from the road, and if they're concerned about the safety of the driver, but they can't pinpoint what the issue is because they're not smelling alcohol or the reading on the portable breath instrument is zeros, I always tell them, call in the DRE, get the DRE there. And the DREs are very, very successful in determining not only whether they are impaired by drugs, but what classification of drug. And this program is so scientific and so specific that these DREs can tell you whether someone's under the influence of more than one drug at times as well. So it's a significant program, and many times they will be the last line of defense in getting that impaired driver off the road so that we don't have these accidents that you read about where a family is taken out by an impaired driver or you know, a significant property damage has occurred because of an impaired driver. So on behalf of the Genesee County District Attorney's Office and all prosecutors from your home counties, I just want to say welcome, thank you, and we look forward to working with you. I wish you all the best.
Next up, we have Renee Borden. She is our DRE state coordinator who gets all this stuff together for us and makes sure we have all the materials we need when it's time for class.
Good morning. First, I want to start off by thanking the newest DREs in this class for handling the hurdles throughout the class and getting done what needed to get done. To thank Genesee County Sheriff's Office for hosting this school, to Under Sheriff Walker for being the course manager, and to all the amazing instructors who make these schools possible, and to all the agencies who support the DRE program. And a big special thank you to all the families that allowed your loved ones to be away for 3 weeks while completing this training. I've been the New York State coordinator now for 3 years. My very first DRE school was right here in Batavia. I have gone full circle, so where else is there to go besides Batavia? It made an interesting alcohol workshop night. I know the DREs had to be careful how they're observing the volunteers as they weren't sure if they were using their arms for balance or spotting some bugs. As you've already seen, becoming a DRE and maintaining a DRE status requires a lot of commitment and dedication. From what I've already seen from all of you sitting on this stage, you have that. None of you gave up and threw in the towel when things got tough. The DRE title also shows that you choose to go above and beyond every day in the line of duty. I am grateful for this and know that this dedication exists and that I'm part of it. This dedication means more to me than you know. Not only do I hear and read many sad stories about the loss of family members and friends, I too have suffered a loss. I lost my best friend to an impaired driver. Not only was it a tough thing to comprehend, why would someone drive impaired, but it was also hard to understand she wasn't coming back. To this day, I can still hear the screams and sirens from the day she was taken away. Taking the steps that you have all taken gives you the opportunity to save lives and prevent tragedies like this one. This is one of the many reasons why I'm so proud to be part of the DRE family. Knowing what you know, those drivers that you weren't sure about before will not get away. The tools you have gained give you the ability to look deeper. As I look at the stage and see you all sitting here, I would like to say congratulations. Hard work really does pay off. Your agencies should be very proud to have someone with your dedication working for them. You should know that this hard work and dedication will not go unnoticed. You are all very sharp. You now have the ability to save lives every day. What can be more rewarding than that? Even though this is the end of your training, I am here for you whenever you need. Feel free to reach out to me. And with that said, finally, congratulations and welcome to the DRE family.
Okay, just to kind of fill you in a little bit on what these guys and girls went through to get into this class. First off, I'd like to thank all the bosses and the families for giving up 3 weeks of your life so we can take these gentlemen and women and get them into shape and become the new DREs of New York State. But pretty much how it happens is they started off in March where they had to send in an application to Renee, where she received 47 applications to attend this class. The end of March, we brought everybody in over 3 days. They sat in front of 5 instructors and Renee, where we threw out questions at them to see if they were the ones we wanted to pick for this class. Our goal was to get 20 students in this class. We overachieved and picked 22 because we had that many good students out of the ones that we had that we decided we could manage the 22 and bring them all in. So then starting on May 7th, they came out here to Batavia, which Renee had talked about. We were doing the alcohol lab. We didn't know if they were using their arms for the field sobriety test to keep their balance or swatting bugs, because anybody doesn't know Batavia, where our training facility is, we're in the middle of the field, farm field. And in May, that's time to plow and plant and spread manure. So we're out there in the middle of the parking lot at dusk time when all the bugs come out, and we had to fight through all that. We did a good job. We figured it out, which ones were using it for balance, which ones were swatting bugs, but we made it through it. So they spent 2 weeks with us. First day they come in, nobody knows anybody, and by the end of those 2 weeks, they've all got some good friendships going, they know each other well, and they work well as a group. And in those 2 weeks, we started them off with a test at the beginning of the day. First thing they did is, here's your test, let's see what you know. And they actually did pretty well. I was surprised, better than I did when I took the test. And after that, we give them 4 quizzes that they have to take. And at the end of the 2 weeks, that Friday is their final exam. True, false, multiple choice, 100 questions, passed with an 80%. And they all did that. And we had one person that did very well on the test. We had one that had 100% on the test. And we also had somebody, an overall average in the class, ended up with a 99 average for all those quizzes and tests by the end of the 2-week class, which we'll tell you who that is later. So after we got done with that, they got to take a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and we took them out to Jacksonville, Florida, where everybody probably thinks, oh, that's got to be tough. You're going to go out to Jacksonville, Florida for the certification phase of the DRE program. And it's not a vacation for them, I think, unless I'm speaking wrong. Anybody disagree? No. Pretty much we bring them out on Sunday. That's their only day they have is free time, which is go to Walmart, get what you're going to need for the week, get ready to get up in the morning by 6:30 so we can head out to the clinic. And pretty much the clinic is a place where people go for help that have drug issues. And they have to test 12 people. 6 they have to do themselves. They have to observe 12 evaluations, 12-step evaluation, which takes about 45 minutes to an hour for each person. When they got done with that, they had to tell us as the instructors, what drug category or categories do you think this person's impaired on? And they had to do that with a 75% accuracy. So pretty much out of 12 evaluations, they could get 1 wrong. And if they got more than that wrong, then they didn't pass that portion of the class. Everyone did a very good job on that. And they weren't easy. There were some tough ones that they had to deal with. They worked through it, and they figured them out. So after that, they're almost done. Then we send them into the part I think everybody didn't like the most, the final essay exam. Then it's a written exam. They have what's true, false, fill in the blank, and an essay exam that they have to take. It takes anywhere from 2 to 6 hours to complete that exam. After they're done with the exam, they have to sit and wait for us to evaluate. The instructor has to grade it. We may call them back in and make them explain their answer even more on top of what they've done in writing before we can give them the blessing of whether or not they are going to be a DRE. And again, 22 people passed that test. Congratulations, guys. And girls. You did a great job. So what I can say about this class, there's always something special about every class. And this one, they seem to get together and click very well. Because after they got done with their final essay exam, they think they're all done. We threw another curveball at them. Me as a course manager, I didn't know something that had changed in the program, so we had to tell them, all right guys, we have to do another 13 evaluation before you leave. And we originally said we were going to come back on graduation day and take care of it on that day before the graduation. But as a class, they all got together and said, nah, I don't think we want to do that. We want to get it done right now. So here's a class that thought everything was done. They could finally let their hair down, right, Young?
Yes, sir.
And we made them go through another evaluation in front of an instructor that they weren't planning on. And they did that as a class and came together as a group and decided that's how they wanted to do it. So I congratulate you guys on that as well. Sticking together, getting it all done, because your course manager made a mistake. So you made me look good. So congratulations everybody, you did a great job. It was great working with you. I'd like to thank the other instructors that were here for the program. We had instructors from as far as New York City Police Department and as close as Batavia. So all across the state we had instructors as well as students from all across the state. So again, congratulations, welcome to the DRE program. You're going to find that this is one of the, for me, I've been in this job for 30 plus years. This has been the best training I've been to. It's been the most rewarding for me. I've met people from all across the state, and you just joined a very unique group. Right now we have 277 DREs in the state of New York. And right now we have 22 of our newest right here. Congratulations, guys. Certificates. When we call you up, we'll have you come and get your certificate and your DRE pins that you can now pin to your shirts. First one, Brian Taylor from Olean Police Department. Lance Barber, Washington County Sheriff's Office. John Klinkhammer, Rochester Police Department. Thomas Eggert, New York State Police. I'm not going to try the last name. Layton, the St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Office. Matthew Grange, Niagara County Sheriff's Office. Christian Kosmowski, New York State Police. Not here. Christian couldn't make it today. Mark Lehman, Town of Ramapo Police Department. Jeremy Leggett, City of Schenectady Police Department. Michael Lonkar, North Tonawanda Police Department. Adam McAdoo, Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office. Christopher McKimmey, Niagara Falls Police Department. See if I can get this right. It only took me 3 weeks to get her name right. Linnea Nordberg, New York State Police. Amy Nowak, Wyoming County Sheriff's Office. This next officer here, when we were finishing up our 2 weeks of the training, and it was time to announce the scores on the test, just watching his faces, we weren't giving what the scores were, and he was panicked in the back of the room. I couldn't look at him right, start laughing. But Eric did a great job. He put a lot of work into this, and he did awesome. Eric Owens from City of Schenectady Police Department. Eric Playstead, New York State Police. Richard Schulwaster, Genesee County Sheriff's Office. The little guy, Matthew Thomas, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. John Vaddis, Rockport Police Department. Ryan Young, Genesee County Sheriff's Office. John Youngman, Tonawanda Police Department. And our last certificate we're going to be giving out is for the top average in the class. And again, during this whole thing, we pretty much grade the 4 quizzes they have to take, the preschool exam, as well as the final exam, and the top overall average gets this award, which goes to Thomas Eggert, New York State Police, with a 99% average. Tom volunteered to give us a speech today, so he's going to grab a speech.
Good morning, everybody. I wouldn't say volunteered, but I am up here. I'd first like to start by saying congratulations to everybody here. I know everybody put in the hard work, time and sacrifice of being away from home. So once again, just congrats. And any of the instructors that are in the room here today, on behalf of the class, thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for taking the time to teach and mentor us throughout the past couple weeks. It was definitely needed. As mentioned, I'm Tom Eggert. I'm a member of the New York State Police. I want to start by saying thank you to all the family, friends, and distinguished guests who came out today for this ceremony. I want to especially thank the members of our graduating DRE class who joined us today. Everyone has their own ambitions when it comes to pursuing a law enforcement career. Whatever that ambition may be, I can safely say each of us who leave our houses every day and put on a uniform do it because we have a strong desire to help others and help our communities. We all fully accept our jobs are inherently dangerous, but it's also one of the most exciting and fulfilling careers one can have. All of you sitting here today have accepted the challenge of being a law enforcement officer. In addition, each of you decided to take on more challenges and responsibilities in becoming a DRE. By challenges and responsibilities, I did not mean more paperwork, more court time, or even the stresses of trying to figure out our tablets, which can be rather tricky at times. By responsibilities, I mean that we as DREs are now trusted to evaluate people who may be under the influence of some type of drug. We all have been trained in basic DWI detection. However, becoming a DRE means that we have taken a greater responsibility to keep our communities and roadways safe. I'm sure we all can think back to a particular traffic stop when we were first on the job, and we couldn't quite figure out what was going on with the driver. They didn't smell of alcohol, they had no HGN, but you had a feeling that something was not quite right with them. What did we as rookie cops most likely do? We most likely sent that driver back on their way, operating a motor vehicle in our community. Sounds pretty safe, right? Each of us learn as we gain experience on the job. As such, we as DREs no longer have the excuse of not recognizing the signs of impairment. We all survived a challenging 2-week course in BATAVIA, and we all passed our 1-week field certification in Jacksonville, Florida. Our job moving forward is to use those additional skills to find and remove dangerous drivers from our roadways, which in turn keeps all of our families safe at night. An additional responsibility we now have is to teach and mentor our fellow officers. We do this by teaching them the basic skills of identifying subjects who are impaired by drugs so they too can remove those persons from the roadway before a tragedy occurs. Finally, our skills, knowledge, and responsibilities as a DRE must be used to assist other agencies in our respective patrol areas. We do not live in a perfect world, and there will be times where we have differences with other agencies. However, we must always lend a hand to other agencies in our patrol areas to help foster positive relationships and for the common good of our communities. Take the time to help, teach, and guide officers and other agencies in identifying impaired or intoxicated subjects. At the end of the day, we're all on the same team with the same goal in mind, keeping our community safe so that father or mother can safely make it home to their family without the worry of being injured or even killed by a person driving impaired with drugs. Once again, congratulations to all of you. Each of you put in the time, effort, and sacrifice of being away from your families. Continue to learn and grow as a DRE, and most importantly, stay safe. Thank you.
Pretty much in closing, again, I want to congratulate you, the BATAVIA 2018 DRE class, 22 students started, 22 students in it. That's a good rate. I'd like to see that. Again, this class was a great class to instruct. I've been an instructor in several of the DRE classes across the state. This has been one of my favorite. I know everybody probably thinks, oh, they always say that. But honestly, it was. Especially at the end when you guys all came together, we got this done. So again, welcome our 2018 newest DREs. Congratulations, guys. Okay, if the family wants to come up and get pictures with them, that's fine, but this is the closing of the ceremony. Thanks for everybody for coming.